What's up, YouTube? Today we're reviewing the 2022 GMC Acadia Denali. Huge thank you to Felipe Portillo over at Koons, Tysons, Chevy, Buick, GMC for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you're interested in this particular Acadia Denali or any GM product with the exception of Cadillac, I'll have his information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. First, let's talk about the exterior and performance. And like I said, this is a 2022 GMC Acadia Denali, and this particular one is painted in satin steel metallic. I think the satin steel metallic paint is worth the $495 upcharge that you do have to pay to get this color, because if you see this paint color in the direct sunlight, it looks super, super good. But first, let's start here at the front end with these headlights. You do have an LED daytime running light as well as LED headlamps as well as IntelliBeam, which are your automatic high beams. But just moving down to here, you also do have your LED fog lamps down here at the bottom of the front bumper, and same goes for this side as well. LED daytime running light, LED headlamps, and your LED fog lamps down here. You do have this black trim piece that kind of surrounds your LED fog lamps, as well as this chrome trim piece that goes all the way from this passenger side all the way down the front bumper over here to the driver's side, and it kind of surrounds those fog lamps down there. And you also do have this lower grille piece that is in black as well, as you can see. Moving over here to the center of the vehicle, as you can see, you do have the classic Denali grille, and it is in chrome, as you can tell, and you also do have a chrome grille surround, as you can see as well. Right at the center of the grille, you do have your GMC emblem, as you can see, and just below that you do have your forward-facing camera. And moving back to the lower part of the front bumper, you also do have your forward-facing sensors down here as well, as you can see. But moving on down, you do have these 20-inch machined aluminum wheels. So you do have a machined aluminum face, as you can see, but you do have these gray pockets here in the spokes, as you can tell. These 20-inch wheels are wrapped in a Michelin Primacy Tour all-season tire, and you can see the tread pattern right there. This is the biggest wheel that you can get. You can't upgrade to 22s, but I'll list a few different wheel options that you can get on this Denali. You're just gonna have to pay a little bit extra. These are your standard wheels. You do have a adaptive suspension, which we'll get into on the interior, but moving on down, you do have your body color mirror caps right here with your integrated turn signal, and just below all of that you do have your side view camera on this side as well as a side view camera on that side, and all of that goes with your 360-degree view camera. Right here you do have your chrome window surround, as you can see, and just above that you do have a chrome roof rail right here, as well as some black pieces to connect it to the car both at the front and the back. But looking at your door handles right here, they are body color, however they do have a chrome trim piece that does surround them, as you can see. You also do have keyless access. All you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, push this button right here, and it will unlock or lock dependent on if the vehicle is unlocked or locked. As you can see, it's unlocked. Push the button and it'll lock. Push the button again and it will unlock. Push that button twice fast if the whole vehicle is locked, and that'll open up all your doors. Another way that you can obviously get into the vehicle is with your key fob. So right here, obviously you guys know what those different buttons are, but talking about the key fob, you can see this little button down here. If you lock the vehicle once and you hold down on that button, it'll remote start the vehicle, so it'll start up. As you can hear it, fire it up. But if you want to turn the vehicle off because you know, it's been running for a little while, or you just want the vehicle to turn off because you accidentally remote started it, just hold down on that button again and it shuts off. You do have some chrome belt line trim down here, as you can see at the bottom of the passenger doors, and on the front door you can see you do have a Denali badge right there, and you also have the Denali badge on the passenger front door as well. But moving on down, you do have a capless filler neck right here. 87 octane will do just fine. And moving here to the rear end of the vehicle, you do have LED tail lamps as well as LED turn signals, LED brake lights, and your LED reverse lights right there. You do have a chrome trim piece that goes across the power liftgate with GMC emblem right here at the middle of it. Just below all of that, you do have your rear view camera as well as your rear view mirror camera right there, and you do have a rear view mirror camera washer right there. So here in Virginia where I'm at, we do get salt on the roads, and obviously we do get rain. So when you're driving down the road, you have a low pressure zone at the rear end of the vehicle, so it kind of makes the air pretty turbulent and can get your cameras pretty dirty. So that's a pretty nifty feature, especially considering this does have the rear view camera mirror, so you can see what's going on at the rear of your vehicle at all times. But right down here at the bottom of the power liftgate, got your Acadia badge in chrome, as well as on the passenger side your all-wheel drive badge in chrome right there. Moving to the bottom of the rear bumper, you got a reflector on the driver's side, reflector on the passenger side, and you got another beltline chrome trim piece right here that says Denali right at the center of the rear end right here. Just below that, you got your trailer tow package, and when optioned correctly with the 3.6 liter V6 mated to all-wheel drive, you do have a max tow capacity of 4,000 pounds. Back to the rear valance, as you can see, you got dual exhaust both on the driver and on the passenger side. Last but not least, you also do have your rear view sensors right here, right here, right here, and right here as well. But let's open up this power liftgate so I can show you guys how much room there is back here. Liftgate is opening up, and this is a 3-row vehicle. You do have a 12-volt outlet right here, little tie down spot right here, tie down spot right here. But if this isn't enough room for you guys, you also do have a little bit of storage space down here, as well as on this side as well. But if this isn't still enough storage space, just pull down on this and push that seat forward, and that seat will drop. Same goes for this side. Just pull down and push, and those seat goes down, and you could probably fit 4 suitcases back here, I would say. Not like obviously huge suitcases, but probably like medium-sized suitcases you could fit back here. And as you can see in the 3rd row, you do have a cup holder here, a cup holder over there, a little storage space right here, and you also do have a USB-A port right there, as you can see. And I'll get into the 3rd row when we're talking about the interior, because there are a few more things that I do want to point out. But for now, that's that, and we'll close that power liftgate by pushing this button right up here. Moving on over to here, here is a rear 3/4 angle of the Acadia Denali. And like I said, I think it looks really, really good. And these rear tail lamps kind of remind me of the rear tail lamps on the Yukon. And the front end kind of reminds me of the Yukon as well. It's kind of just got that squarish shape to it, which I think looks really good, and it's a great alternative to the other 3-row SUVs on the market. But yeah, with that said, let's move into performance. Popping open that hood reveals that 3.6 liter V6 that makes 310 horsepower and 271 pound-feet of torque. This motor is mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission, and with that 9-speed automatic transmission, that 3.6 liter V6 with all-wheel drive, you're able to accelerate from 0 to 60 in 6.1 seconds. And with all those numbers in mind, you're able to achieve 19 miles per gallon city and 26 miles per gallon highway with all-wheel drive, which is pretty good considering that this is a 3-row SUV with all-wheel drive, and you got a pretty good amount of horsepower as well. But if you guys are enjoying today's video so far, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. I'm really gunning for 10,000 subscribers, and I cannot do that without your guys' help. So like I said, if you guys would, please hit that subscribe button. Please give this video a big thumbs up, and let's move into the interior. Like I said, this car does have keyless access. All you really got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle and push that button right there. And the vehicle will open up. It's already unlocked, so don't have to worry about that right now. At the top of the door panel right here, you have this leather type material with your accent colored stitching right here. And right here, you also do have leather with more of that accent colored stitching. It's a very soft feeling jet black leather. The interior color of this vehicle is called jet black. But you also do have wood trim right here. You do have power folding mirrors by pushing that button right there, and both mirrors will fold in. You do have your blind spot monitoring right there as well, but we'll fold those mirrors back out. 2 memory adjustment seat settings right there, and you can set it by pushing that button right there. Aluminum door handle right here with your unlock and lock button. Moving down to here, you got a little storage space or a little spot to open or close the door right there. You do have automatic up and down windows in the front. However, you do not have automatic up windows in the rear, but you do have automatic down windows in the rear. This is to open up your power liftgate, so you can either open up to 3/4 open or max open. It was on max, so we'll leave it on max, but push that button and that power liftgate opens up. Got my Deer Park water bottle right here, and you can fit a Deer Park water bottle down in there or right there as well. It's a pretty small storage space right here at the bottom of the door panel, but you can still fit a water bottle or two right there. This car does have the 8-speaker Bose audio system, which sounds very, very good in my opinion. I've listened to a little bit of music on it, country music, a little bit of rap, and it sounds fantastic. And right here you do have your Denali door sill, which looks very, very premium. But stepping in, because it's pretty freaking cold out there, let's fire her up. Like I said, key fob somewhere in the interior. Put your foot on the brake and push to start. It will let you know that the vehicle is started by that little green light right there. You do have your electronic parking brake right there, so all you gotta do is push on it and it turns on. It's already on, that's why it's barking. So put your foot on the brake, push it again to release. Now it is released. This little dial right here is to turn up the brightness on the screen right here, or to turn down the brightness on the screen right there. You got your heads-up display, which I'm not sure if the GoPro is gonna pick it up, but it is right there. So it lets you know miles per hour, cruise control stuff like that. Pretty cool system. And you can go and change what you want on there. It's in demo mode, so you can switch between RPM, and it says it's in demo mode, so we can't really go through all the different screens. But anyway, that you kind of get the gist of what it can do. And this is for the brightness on your heads-up display as well. Moving over to your turn signal stalk right here, you push that button in and your IntelliBeam is on. Push the button again and your IntelliBeam is off. This is your headlamp controls right here. So if you want it automatic light control on, you just leave it alone. These are for your daytime running lights, and these are for your full on headlights. If you want to turn your fog lamps on, you just twist this just like that and your fog lamps come on, and it lets you know right there that your fog lamps are on. Turn them back off, you just twist it again and your fog lamps are off. Looking right here, you do have a screen at the center right here, which lets you know your speedometer right there, which is an analog, but you also have a digital speedometer right in the middle. You also have your digital speedometer right here in your heads-up display. But this speedometer goes up 10, 30, 50, so it goes up by your odd numbers. Right over here, you got your analog RPM gauge. You have your digital oil temperature right here. And right over here, you have your analog coolant temperature as well as your fuel gauge right here. And you can go throughout the screen and kind of change what you want. Here you got your like gyroscope type thing. You were in 2-wheel drive. Transmission temperature, timer, fuel economy, air filter life, tire pressure, oil life, fuel range, more fuel range information, stuff like that. I like to keep it on my digital speedometer right there. That's just my personal opinion. You can go between your audio, navigation, phone, and just your different options for this screen right here, but we're gonna leave that alone. But moving down to here, you can see that we are in park. You got your compass right there, and you have your odometer right there. Like I said, you do have the rear view camera mirror in this vehicle. However, if you don't want this you can just flip this up just like that and you have a regular camera. But I personally do enjoy this camera. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but once you get used to it, I think you'll actually like it better than the old-fashioned rear view mirror. But like I said, I think that's what you'll get used to. You also do have your rain sensing wipers, so if it starts raining, your rain sensing wipers will come on and start wiping. Dependent on the intensity of the rain, they'll either go faster or they'll go slower. Pulling this down, you got your vanity mirror right here with your lights on the side. Same thing for the passenger side. Got a little spot to set your sunglasses right up here, which is one of the few GM cars that actually does have one of these sunglasses holders. So that's really, really nice to have. You got your lights right here. They are LED, and this is to open up this sunroof right here. This is a manual folding shade, so you do have to manually close the shade, just like you have to manually close that shade as well, but that's not really a big deal. You can also tilt the sunroof if you so desire as well. Got your OnStar stuff right over here and your passenger airbag information right there. Dome lighting, and this is to either have your lights come on when the door opens or to turn that feature off. All you gotta do is push that and then the lights do not come on when the door is open. I like to keep that on, but yeah. Moving over here back to the steering wheel, you got your cruise control settings right over here. Heated steering wheel, Like I said, this stuff controls what's going on that center screen right there to speak to the vehicle, and this is to hang up on a phone call right there. You can listen to the horn. Classic GM horn, but leather wrapped steering wheel. Like I said, it is heated. This is your windshield wiper stalk, rear windshield wiper stock, so you can turn that on by that. But right over here, you do have your 8-inch infotainment screen, and I think it works fantastic. It's very easy to use and get used to. Obviously, it tells you basically exactly where you're going to go, your settings, your camera stuff. Like I said, 360-degree view camera. It is showing our forward-facing camera right now. However, if we do our push-button transmission right here, we'll go into reverse, and now it's going to display our rear view camera while leaving our 360 camera right there. But like I said, push button transmission, push to go into park, pull back to go into reverse, push to go into neutral, and pull back again to go into drive. If you want to go into low, you just push that L button right there. And if you want to upshift or downshift manually, that's to upshift, that is to downshift. But we'll throw her back into park, and you can hear it go ding. That lets us know that we are in park. This is a tri-zone climate control system, so you got your climate control right here for your driver. You can do an individual setting here for your passenger. If you want them both to be together, push this sync button right here, and now they're synchronized. And then your third row and second row passengers have their own climate control system back there as well. Like I said, climate control systems here for the front. Moving down to here, you got a 12-volt outlet right here, as well as a USB-A port and a USB-C port. But if you don't want to do that, you also do have a wireless charging pad right there as well, and your phone will just charge right there. I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but this does have wireless Apple CarPlay as well as wireless Android Auto. Moving over to here, you got your 2 cup holders, and you also do have your hazards right here. If you want to turn off your parking sensors, that's what that button is for. Traction control off right here. Turn it back on, click it again, and this is your auto stop start off or auto stop start on. I like to keep it off, so let's keep it off. Get your heated and ventilated driver seat, as well as a heated and ventilated passenger seat. Moving here to the second row, your outboard passengers have heated seats. But yeah, moving back over to here, you got your drive mode selector. So if you want to go into 4-wheel drive, now we are in all-wheel drive. Click it again, we are in sport mode. Click it again, we go into off-road mode. Click it one more time, and now we are in our trailer tow haul mode, as you can see. But if we want to go all the way back over to 2-wheel drive, which is normally where I'm sure most people are going to keep it, you just twist it back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, whatever it is. This is for your lane keep assist right here. That's what that button does. You got some more wood trim right here as well. Moving on down to here, you got a good amount of storage space for a lot of stuff that you can put right here. I like how they didn't waste the space and they gave you a spot for storage, and stuff's not going to go all over the place because you do have walls both on this side and a wall over there on the passenger side as well, so stuff's not going to fall and go, God forbid, on this side or on that side either. But moving over here to your center console, we'll take that out of there. A decent sized center console. I'd say half of my arm fits down in there, and you can fit, you know, hand sanitizer, tissues. You could probably fit a Kleenex box down in there, no problem. But yeah, good amount of storage space down there. We'll throw that back in there just like it was, and we'll close that. This is in leather, as you can tell. But we'll go back through here through this screen. Like I said, you got your Wi-Fi hotspot, so this is a 4G LTE hotspot capable vehicle. But a few more things that I did want to mention here before we moved into the rear, and that is that this does have the $5,045 Denali Ultimate Package, which also includes the technology package and the trailering package. So a couple key features that you do get with the Denali Ultimate Pack are a 2-panel sunroof, as you can see, boom and boom. You also get a camera mirror, like I said, right there. You also have adaptive cruise control, automatic emergency braking, park assist, lane keep assist with lane departure warning, forward collision alert. You got your blind spot monitoring, which would be both right there as well as right there. You also get rear cross traffic alert and camera washers, which is what I pointed out when we were back at the rear. So it basically keeps the camera clean, so you don't have to switch in between like this if you didn't have that camera washer to see what's going on back there because the camera got too dirty. So yeah, that is an awesome feature. But another thing that you do have and that pertains to right over here. You do have adaptive ride control, which is basically like a magnetic ride control, and can tighten up the suspension or loosen up the suspension depending on what the situation calls for. Like I said, you got your 360-degree view camera right here. And that obviously pops on when you go into reverse, but you can also turn it on by going into that infotainment screen right there. One more thing before we move into the rear, and that pertains to the glove box. You have a pretty good amount of storage space in that glove box. It's a lot bigger than I was expecting, actually. So you can fit your owner's manual in there, napkins, tissues, straws, whatever, snacks, stuff like that. Whatever you want to put in there, I don't think you're going to have any worries about fitting stuff down in there. You got basically a leather type feeling material up here on the dash, and you have this machined type aluminum trim, which is in like kind of like almost like a bronzish silverish color right here. More of that trim that goes around that vent right there. Wood grain trim right here, and wood grain trim on the passenger side, just like it was here on the driver's side. But one more thing that I did want to mention before we move into that second row of seating, and that is that you do have a power driver seat as well as a power passenger seat. So that's just something I wanted to mention. But let's move into the second row seats. Basically same exact materials used on the second row doors, just like they are on the driver door. Leather wrapped right here. You got a cup holder right here, a spot to grab onto when you're closing the door. And like I said, you have automatic down windows, but you do not have automatic up windows. You also have your aluminum door handle right there, and you get a little phone storage space right in here, and you can fit another 2 water bottles right here. Looking at the interior right here, same exact type materials, just like the front. You got that white type piping right here, which looks very, very premium, as well as that white accent colored stitching. I think the seats look very, very luxurious. And let's test the comfortability of these seats, because they can look the part, but do they feel the part? And the answer to that is, yeah, they're actually pretty freaking comfortable, and you can lean them back and stuff like that. These are captain's chairs, so you do have a fold down armrest that is in leather. However, the inner part of that is in cloth, as you might be able to tell. But yeah, very, very comfortable seating. I'm 5'9", tons and tons of headroom. And when it comes to legroom, I got a good amount of legroom, good amount of knee room right here. I got my seat farther back than I normally would be normally adjusted to. That's just because I wanted just a little bit extra room when I was up there filming. But if I was in my normal position, I would have tons and tons of leg room and tons of knee room. So yeah, anyway, like I said, you do have tri-zone climate control. So you do have your climate control settings right here to turn on the fan. That's what you do right there. To adjust your temperature, you can either go hot or cold, and it lets you know right there. Like I said, you do have your heated outboard seating with 3 levels of adjustment. But just below all of that, you have your 120 volt household outlet right here, as well as a USB-A port and a USB-C port. Just below that, you got a couple cup holders right in here, along with some storage space. If you want to set, you know, candy down in there, snacks, stuff like that. You might be able to fit your phone down in there. So this is an iPhone 11 Pro Max, and it just barely fits in that storage space. But like I said, tissues, stuff like that, you can fit down in there. 2 cup holders right here. And closing that, you do have your seat back pocket both on the driver's side as well as on the passenger side. But you also have your lights right up here, HVAC vent right here, HVAC vent right there. Got your grab handle here, grab handle right there. And like I said, you do have your second moonroof right here. But if you want that closed, that's all you got to do. If you want it open, you just push up on like that, and it opens up. But let's move into the third row seating. So let's fold these chairs up just like this, push it up like that, push that up like that, fold that up, fold that up. And I can already tell that this is going to be tight back here for me. So yeah, definitely not the most comfortable seating here in the third row. However, if you're just going like on an hour and a half drive, I think you'll be totally fine. But like I said, I'm 5'9", not much headroom, pretty much no knee room or leg room, but you can scoot these chairs forward, so I could still be a little bit more comfortable than I am. But yeah, pretty minimal room back here for somebody of my size or taller. Right here, like I said, storage space, cup holder, And you got your light settings right here to turn them on or off. HVAC vent here, HVAC vent right there, USB-A port right here, and yeah, that's it for the third row seats. So we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and now we've talked about the entire interior. So I want to see what this thing's like to drive, so I will see you guys in the driver's seat. All right, guys, now on to the POV part of the review, and I've driven this car a little bit from the dealership to the spot where I filmed the video, and the first thing I gotta say right off the bat is just how smoothly that it drives. It's a very smoothly driving vehicle. It's very well insulated from what's going on outside. When you hit bumps and stuff, you can barely even feel the bumps, and that's due in part to the MagneRide suspension. I think Chevy, GM in general, has basically got MagneRide down packed. I mean, they've got it in their Corvettes, Camaros, stuff like that. And the Camaro SS1LE, which is one vehicle I'll shout out in particular right now, is one of the best driving vehicles for the money, period. And that has the MagneRide suspension. So yeah, I mean, that's basically what is in this car. Obviously, this isn't a sports car, but it's basically the same idea. But when you go into sport mode in this vehicle, it sharpens the throttle response. It definitely holds gears a little bit longer, and it tightens up the suspension just a little bit. Yes, the suspension does tighten down a little bit. However, it's still a very, very comfortable vehicle to drive. So let's pull out right here, and we got a pretty big size bump right here. And I mean, you can barely even feel it. I mean, this suspension is fantastic. But one thing I did want to mention, and this has to do with power, is that it's got a pretty good amount of low-end grunt. Definitely more than I thought, because this does have less torque than it has horsepower. It's got 271 pound-feet of torque. So I was expecting it to not feel the greatest down low. I thought it was going to be kind of sluggish. But that's not the case at all. It's actually very, very torquey down low. And I mean, I haven't opened it up yet, so I haven't felt the horsepower. But yeah, I've definitely felt the torque just on regular accelerations and stuff like that. And when I was back there, I'm not sure if you could see, but the steering wheel turned. And that is to do in part with the lane centering system that this vehicle does have. So yeah, very, very comfortable vehicle, very easy to drive. Pretty well responsive steering. Basically right when you turn the steering wheel, that's kind of where you go. But I'm a big fan of the heads-up display. You can see you got your compass right under your speedometer right there. But we're gonna give it a little bit of gas, not like floored, but we're definitely gonna open her up just a little bit. I would say this is like a medium acceleration, just to test out, you know, yeah, we're not flooring it, but we do want a little bit more power than, you know, our average acceleration. So let's test that out now. Ooh, X5 M50i, he smoked us, man. That's a good looking car. I love that that gray. I would definitely like one of those cars one day. Those things are super, super fast, and they look fantastic. But that's not the vehicle we're reviewing. We're in this car right now. So yeah, as you can see, there is your rear view camera right there. You can see we've got that turquoise-ish Audi e-tron behind us. So if we switch it back into this, I just don't like this as much. It's like, I don't know, I like this a little bit more. I think it looks more futuristic, and I think it looks better, and it kind of gets rid of your blind spots. But let's hop on to the highway right here. This guy's kind of all over me because I'm driving a little bit slow, and let's open her up. 3, 2, 1. Shifts, dang, that shifts way faster than I was expecting. Man, those shifts were really, really quick. Definitely faster than I was expecting it to be, and just the vehicle in general was definitely faster than I expected it to be, and it sounded pretty good, I gotta admit. But what I was most impressed of was how quickly the transmission shift. I'm not sure if that picked up on camera, but the transmission was really, really quick. And it put us right back into the power band once it shifted. So yeah, I mean, just my little bit of time behind the wheel, and I'm definitely a big fan of this transmission and kind of the drivetrain in general. I was actually, like I said, very surprised by the power right there. That was the first time I had floored it. So very good amount of power, a lot more honestly than I was expecting. And something that I didn't mention when we were talking about the interior part of the review is that to turn up the stereo, you do have these controls behind this side of the steering wheel. So the right side of the steering wheel, you can volume up, and it's just going to staticky sound, as you can hear it, and volume down on this side as well. But if you guys want to switch in between your different either XM stations, FM stations, or if you're on Apple CarPlay, in between your different radio, or in between your different songs, the upper button on this is to skip up a song. But if you guys want to go back down a song and listen to a song over again, or switch back down on your radio selection, that's what the bottom button does. So that's what this button down here does. As you can see, it switches down in between. So this is obviously up, this is down, and this is your radio up and your radio down right there. I don't want to play music because I might get a copyright infringement, which is exactly what I don't want. But you guys have to take my word for it that this 8-speaker Bose sound system sounds fantastic. And pretty much all the Bose sound systems and all GM products, for the most part, usually sound really, really good. But yeah, like I said, just a very, very nice driving vehicle, super duper smooth. I could definitely do a very, very comfortable road trip from where I'm at here in Virginia down to Miami. Yes, that's a 13-hour drive, but these seats are super, super comfortable. These are some of the more comfortable GM seats that I've sat in. Very well padded, very nice bolstering here on the sides, not too much, but not too little. So yeah, just a very, very nice feeling vehicle. Armrests are in the right spot. They're not too low, not too high. They're in the perfect spot. You have a power tilting and telescoping steering wheel, adjustable by these buttons right over here. So you can bring the steering wheel out, you can bring it up and down. So you can kind of configure your driving position pretty much exactly how you want it to be. I mean, at least that's what I found. I'm 5'9", and I found myself to be very, very comfortable driving this vehicle. I got my elbow right here on this armrest, and you can just drive it with one hand very, very comfortably. And like I said, you can bring it down like it's doing right now. You can bring it out like I'm doing right now. It's coming out to me, which makes it even easier to drive this vehicle. But like I said, I think this is a very, very good looking vehicle. If you guys are looking at different 3-row SUVs, I think this is one of the better looking SUVs in the segment. I was looking at Car and Driver, and it had the Kia Telluride as the #1 vehicle, and this was like number 6 on the list, behind the Grand Cherokee L, the Kia Telluride. And no, I haven't driven any of those other vehicles, but I mean, for this thing to rate kind of where that is, I don't kind of, and you know, it's the same thing with the Buick Envision that I did a video on. They had that thing ranked super, super low. So it's like, maybe I haven't driven all those other cars, but I think that this thing is super duper comfortable. You know, you got that 8-inch infotainment system, which is super, super easy to use. I think anybody could get in this thing and within 10 minutes know exactly how to use it. This screen is super easy to use. We'll go back over here into our speedometer. So go into info, and now we have our digital speedometer here at the middle of the screen. So you don't have to read off of your analog digital speedometer right there, or your heads-up display. But like I said, you got 3 different places to read your speed. So if you get a speeding ticket, you're speeding on purpose. But yeah, you get your speedometer there, speedometer in the center right there digitally, and you have your analog digital speedometer right above the speedometer right there in the middle. But yeah, very, very comfortable interior, very well insulated from what's going on outside. You've got tons and tons of safety features. I'm going to list those safety features up here again for you guys to go through and read. But yeah, just tons and tons of tech on this vehicle, tons and tons of safety features, and it's just a super, super comfortable riding vehicle, very well responsive when it comes to power, steering, and stuff like that. So yeah, if you guys are looking at this vehicle, I would say go out and test drive it. I think you guys will see exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to responsiveness, the steering feel, very, very comfortable, just steering wheel in general. So I actually really, really like this car. If you guys are looking for one of these vehicles, like I said, I'll have Felipe's information in the description box down below. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, please give this video a big thumbs up. Please hit that subscribe button. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm really gunning for 10,000 subscribers, and I can't do that without your guys' help. So if you guys would help me make my dream come true, please hit that subscribe button. Please leave a comment in the comment section down below. All that stuff looks good for the channel and kind of boosts my channel in the YouTube algorithm. So like I said, I'd greatly appreciate it if you guys would do that. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of today's video, guys. And with that said, I will see you guys in the next review. Peace.